Hello everyone, it's Luphisra here, and today I'll be playing Kathy Rain 2, Soothsayer. I almost said Katie again. I don't know why. I keep wanting to say Katie, but it's actually Kathy. It's Kathy Rain. But yes, hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. If you're watching, I kind of started and stopped the stream so I started the stream like twice. I didn't notice the first time that I already started the stream and just it started, but well, yeah. Anyways, this is a game that was recommended to me by a fellow follower, the Hermit Gamer, because he wanted to recommend so many games to me, and a lot of them I can't really play or I'm not interested in. This is one of the games where I can play. And I've never played the first game before. I've only ever played, or rather watched other people play the first game. So I kind of know the story. But the second game is not connected to the first game at all. Like, not really, in the sense that it's a standalone mystery. So you can play the second game without having to play the first game, although the developers do recommend that you play the first game first, and they have a bundle for it on Steam. But I decided to get it just on GOG and just this game, so let's get started. Highly recommend playing Kathy Rain before Kathy Rain 2. Do you want to see a recap of Kathy Rain Director's Cut? Yeah, I have not played the first game before, but I will watch a recap. Just in case you forgot what happened in the first game.
Springs, my hometown. I returned for the funeral after being away since childhood.
Okay.
I learned that my grandpa had been investigating strange occurrences surrounding a mysterious presence in the forest. However, something happened to him in the woods, putting him in a vegetative state for over a decade.
Okay. This is the best friend, or rather the roommate.
Summers, my college roommate. A Christian nerd and a biker badass. It was a match made in heaven. A local church turned out to harbor a secret cult worshiping the malevolence in the woods, referring to it as the Old God.
The Old God does not sound good.
An endangered hallucinogenic flower, the red scythe, was somehow connected to the Old God's power. As
the bald man in the red suit.
The servant of the Old God made himself known in dreams and visions.
The Crimson One.
Crimson One. A scheme.
Easy to remember, I guess.
Things came to a head when the priest of the corrupt church, Isaac Price, abducted Eileen, intending to offer her to the Old God. I managed to track them down and have Isaac thrown in jail, but Eileen was in a catatonic state and was about to suffer the same fate as my grandfather.
And Kathy obviously saved her.
I continued alone and found my way into a great field of red scythes in the depths of the forest. Greeted by the Crimson One, I descended into the Old God's bizarre realm, a place straddling the line between the physical and the otherworldly. The powers of that place tried to break me. My past trauma was manifested and turned against me, including my shadow, an evil doppelganger. I defeated these foes and emerged back into the real world. As I left Conwell Woods, I set the flowers ablaze to eradicate the evil at its root. In my absence, Isaac Price took the coward's way out in his jail cell.
And this is the ending.
Eileen had awoken. She was safe. It was time for us both to go back home.
And then this is the start of the second game. Some of the characters from the first game I've heard will appear in the second game, like the roommate. I saw it in the trailer. A bit late. There are a lot of people who already played this. I had to avoid watching them, just to not be spoiled. This game is intended for mature audiences and contains graphic depictions of horror, explicit violence, suicide, and other disturbing imagery. Viewer discretion is advised. You have been warned, folks. If you're not okay with any of this, you can click out. No, and stop watching. Okay? but I'm gonna proceed. It's pixelated. It won't be that bad. Okay, May 20th, 1998. This is day 1. Kathy's sleeping.
We're closed. For fuck's sake.
Why are you sleeping on the job?
Hey, kid.
Oh, Lucas.
Gee, what happened to you?
Okay, who's Lucas?
Somebody's been through the ringer.
Someone needs to tell me.
Mind your own business, old man, before I bring up your ex-wife.
Hey, now, I'm just looking out for a former student of mine.
Oh, he's a teacher.
Business.
Oh, I bet I am. That's the only way a has-been like you could ever stay relevant.
Ha! Yeah, that must be it. Now, you gonna invite me in and just let me stand here like an asshole?
Fine, come in then. You want some coffee?
You have a nice relationship.
Oh, sis, thank you very much. That brew you make is rancid.
Oh, I did that on purpose. I wanted to do detective work, not dumb chores like some airbrained secretary.
Feigning incompetence, huh? Clever move.
I guess so. I just wish that shrewdness of mine could make me some money.
So she's not making any money is what I'm getting.
The news on the Soothsayer.
I never took you for a sucker, Lucas. This is Cassidy. There's no way that reward is legit.
You're wrong. Mayor Adams is different. He's the real deal.
And you know this how exactly?
Well, because
It's been a murder, obviously.
I got nada. Zip. He's a total Boy Scout.
Whatever. We're still talking about a serial killer. Do I look suicidal to you?
She does not.
Kinda.
She doesn't look suicidal.
At noon, stinking of booze, and that eviction notice hanging over your head isn't doing you any favors.
That's
has a
not my
point.
concern. I'm handling it. I just need a goddamn case. A normal case. Free of homicidal maniacs.
Don't know what to tell you, kid.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of homicidal maniacs in a detective game.
God. Please don't try to sound hip.
With your past.
Your Dick Tracy imitation is cringeworthy enough.
I suppose you could always pawn off that bike of yours. Buy you another month or 2.
Tell him, Mildred. Lose the Catmobile.
Where's the damn cat? Oh, it's over here.
Left tit.
Sorry, I'm blocking it.
I may be a
Let me
has-been,
move a little bit.
but
Here's the
I'm fairly
cat.
Sure that
I'm sorry.
self-revelation won't do you much good. A couple $100K, on the other hand.
I love money just as much as the next girl, but I mean, this isn't just a long shot. It's about as likely as Mildred turning vegan and taking up juggling.
Come on, one more case, for old time's sake. 50-50 split. How could anyone beat my rugged charm and your youthful vigor?
Lucas.
That's all she could see. I mean, all he could say. Only good thing about Caddy Fame, a youthful vigor.
Was 3 tequila bottles ago.
All right. I know what I'm beating. I'll drop it.
Whoops,
Look.
sorry. Knocked into my mic if you hear that.
I might actually take a shot at that bounty, but you need to accept that we're not a team anymore. We had a good run, but I have my own thing going. Look, see? My name is on the frost.
Clearly nothing's going well when you're not getting any cases or customers.
Not allergic to a little quip.
Honestly.
Time to time, though, are you?
Now, that I can do. That's how the world works anyway. It's all just an endless circle jerk of quid pro fucking quo.
I don't quite see things that way. But my door is always open if you'd like to discuss the case.
Sure. May the best woman win.
You telling me I'd look good in a dress? Later, kid.
Bye, Lucas.
Well, that's quite an introduction to the game, I guess. The Soothsayer.
Well, it's not like I have anything better to do. I should have information on the Soothsayer somewhere in this room.
Somewhere in this room. And I've got to remember that this is 1998, so there's no, like, cell phones. Or at least there's no smartphones. Guess... Do they have cell phones back then? No, I think the earliest cell phone came out in the 2000s. I'm not exactly sure. It wasn't a smartphone though, obviously. But yeah, let's take a look.
Various reference books and technical manuals.
Okay, not that we want to look at it. Okay. Camera.
I should grab this in case I need to snap some shots.
Good idea. Good idea. Take that. You'll need to look at the phone book somehow. Do you guys remember the phone book?
Handy for looking up people and businesses.
Damn. It was a period of time where we had, like,
I wish it was that easy.
a phone book. Unfortunately, we don't.
That cranky drawer is stuck good. I know Eileen had some magic trick to get it open. Too bad she's not around.
You could try to get
My private investigator license issued last year.
the magic trick from
I was
her,
wondering if
right?
August would react, so I applied for it behind his back. I couldn't have been more wrong, though. That old fart has been nothing but supportive since then.
Start chore.
Just outdated casework. Can't bring myself to take them down.
Oh, outdated. Right.
My radio, with a built-in cassette player. I prefer the quiet right now.
Cat! Can I pet the cat?
Who's the best fluff ball? Couldn't agree more.
All right. Unpaid bills.
Never saw those. Nope, no siree.
She's definitely frickin' broke.
The city we're in, unfortunately.
Cassidy. Oh, that's the city we're in? Oh, safe.
All this gumshoe has left to pawn is her dignity.
Oh, your dignity. I don't have a lot of those.
Article in the Chicago Tribune about the Whitmore affair. My big breakthrough case last year. I've been meaning to get it framed, but I've been too busy with important things. You know, like drinking alone.
That is important. Drinking? Really? Aha! The spacebar works. Bottle of tequila.
Headache, you Mexican jerk.
Newspaper rack. Any Soothsayer news in there?
Yeah, maybe there's something about the killings in these papers. All right. I found a few interesting articles about the most recent murder.
Nice. Can I read it? Okay. The Cassidy Tribune. This is Wednesday, May 13th, 1998, I think. Or something. I can't see it because it's blocked. Never mind. Soothsayer targets best-selling author. Cassidy's serial killer hits high-profile victim. At 49, the one and only Deborah Sinclair was tragically taken from us. She was stabbed to death on May 8th in her iconic cabin. The chilling signature mirror left on the scene made it clear that she had become yet another Soothsayer victim. You know the word Soothsayer? The first time I heard it was in Charmed. You know the old show, about witches? Yeah, there was like a magical being called Soothsayer. But in that one, the Soothsayer is more like a therapist. Magical therapist, kind of. I don't think that's what they mean in this one. Okay. We are told by sources in the Cassidy Police Department that there was no sign of a break-in and no items of value were stolen. The cause of death came as no surprise. Acute blood loss caused by sharp force trauma. The circumstances surrounding this crime are strikingly similar to the original casualty of the Soothsayer, Rose Taylor, also a middle-aged woman stabbed to death in her home. This makes 5 victims in 3 months, and the lack of results on the case is starting to anger the citizens of Cassidy. Mayor Adams gave the following statement on May 11th. I'll be the first to admit that I hope to see swifter progress concerning these killings. We plan to evaluate more radical measures in the coming weeks. The chief of police had no comment. Okay, this one is Saturday, May 9, 1998, by the Cassidy Gazette. Soothsayer viciously murders Deborah Sinclair. The famous writer's life has been an abrupt end. Sinclair with her signature Yaponte. We are devastated to report that the fifth victim of the Soothsayer was none other than acclaimed author Deborah Sinclair. one of the most recognized faces of Cassidy. Loyal readers of Sinclair may realize that the previous victim, Jane Doe, was slain on the publication anniversary of Storm Chaser, one of Sinclair's classic novels. Simple coincidence? Or do these murders have a deeper connection to the author? The murder occurred in Sinclair's famous writer's retreat near the border of the national park. The National Park Service was first on the site and is currently in control of the crime scene. As the NPS lacks the necessary training and resources to conduct murder investigations, you should expect the crime scene will be soon be handed over to the Soothsayer task force at the KPD. For now, the body has been transported to a city morgue, awaiting clearance for pathological examination. Chief Ranger Samuel Walker had the following comment. We are still establishing all of the facts surrounding this crime. Please be patient. We all want to do right by Deborah. Deborah Sinclair was a longtime friend of the Gazette and led a prolific life with more than 30 novels published during her lifetime. On this sad day, we mourn the loss of a cultural icon, and we pray that her death will be the last at the hands of the vile Soothsayer.
All right, I think that's everything I've got on Deborah in here.
That's all you have?
I should be able to learn more about the other victims at the library.
At the library. Deborah Sinclair, okay.
My biggest fan, as depressing as that is.
You only have this one fan? Jeez Louise! That sucks.
When there's new messages, it blinks. It's high-tech like that.
High-tech for back in the day? Laminator?
It's a plastic laminator, a machine used to encase paper and other thin objects in transparent plastic. I mainly use it for fake IDs.
Back in the day, it was easier to do. Not anymore. Especially with advanced technology and all that.
A bucket load of misery.
Let's go see our living area and see if there's anything I could take before we go.
I wish, but if I don't shape up and get some work done, I'm gonna end up sleeping somewhere way less comfy.
That's true.
Extra helmets. Eileen used to wear one of them back when things were different.
So she fell out with her friend, I think.
Useful things for when the Catmobile needs a tune-up. Every biker worth her salt has got a box like this somewhere. This might be useful.
Grab all the stuff that we can.
Nah, I'll live with my current face.
Fine.
Eileen and me, before Rain Investigation started going downhill. We worked great together, didn't we? I wish things didn't have to go the way they did.
Well, what happened? You're leaving me in the dark? At least tell me what's going on.
Uh-oh. That's quite a tequila face you got there, Kathy.
Can you...
Nah, I'll live with my current face.
You said you got tequila face. You don't want to, like, put makeup on? Make yourself look better?
Make me hurl. I'm way too hungover for coffee. No time to do the stupid dishes. I've got a case to solve.
You're a dirty slum.
Standard electric oven. Barely used. No time to do the...
Yeah, whatever. Spice rack.
Spices and condiments, gathering dust.
Do you not cook? What do you eat?
A postcard left by Jimmy Cochran, that strange old geezer I met at a mental institution a few years ago. He was discharged a year after we met, and for some reason he seems to think I had something to do with it.
Maybe. Who knows?
I better not open that. Wouldn't want the mold to spread.
You have mold in your fucking fridge? Seriously, man. That's disgusting.
It's a real mess in there. I better not open the door, or I'd risk spilling all sorts of shit out here.
Yeah, you're gross.
It's a photo I took of the West End Bridge here in the city back in the day. Teenage Kathy had one of those artsy photographer phases. I better put that away later, for Mildred's sake. That little rascal has proven that, yes, cats can get drunk.
Wait, you feed alcohol to your cat? Kathy!
I shouldn't need to bring that. There's storage on the bike if I need it.
Honestly? Honestly? Like, really? Okay, sorry. That changed settings and some stuff. Okay.
Maybe later. The red one goes better with this set.
Aw. I like purple.
Manhunt. I prefer their old material, but their latest album wasn't half bad. Oh, Cryptic Chaos. Can't wait till they're back in town. How's it hanging, Lampy?
Do you not want to fix it?
Still same old Cassidy. City of Gleam.
Cat clock.
Keeps me in perfect timing.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured the room needed some extra groove.
Not half bad of a place, actually.
Nah, no fun alone and sober.
I guess there's nothing I could take that is useful. Just comments on everything. Okay, then. Out we go. Let's go to the library and look up Deborah Sinclair. Maybe we could find some information that's useful or something. The cat is just not bothered. I've been bothering to look. Okay. City Library. Let's go there now.
A plaque with some prominent donors. Interestingly, Deborah Sinclair is listed here.
Why is it interesting? I mean, she's a writer. She wants to give some money to a library. What's so bad about that?
To run through those gigantic double
Right?
doors.
It's a good thing, right?
I'm saved.
Hold on. It's a good thing. Give me a sec. You might see a couple stuff. I think. I feel like my tracking's a little off. Don't you guys think that? Never mind. I'll fix it next time. Whatever. Because you guys might see it. I'll fix it later.
Nah, I got one at home.
You do? I did not see a umbrella. I'm so sorry, but okay.
Hi, I need some help, please.
Of course. How can I be of assistance?
What do you know about Deborah Sinclair?
Quite a bit. Do you have a more specific line of inquiry?
What do you know about the murder?
I believe she was killed at her writer's retreat, stabbed to death. The police say the MO was similar to the other victims, with the shattered mirror and all that.
Of course, so...
Where's this writer's retreat located exactly?
There's an area called Bear Creek. Just
Bear
north of
Creek?
the national park.
I guess you can go there later.
A small cabin there.
All right, got it. That's a decent drive, so I think I'll head out there tomorrow.
Okay, going there tomorrow. All right.
What kind of books did Deborah write?
She dabbled in many different genres over the years, but her main bulk of work could probably be defined as horror, mystery, or a combination of the two.
Horror, mystery, and a combination of both.
And the Jenny Payne trilogy are some of her most well-known titles.
Huh, okay.
Are those that play on real-life works or just made up for the game?
Yes,
I'm kind of confused.
but I don't have any details to share.
That's okay.
Was Deborah a popular author?
Oh, yes. Even before her death. Afterwards, her popularity has reached astronomical levels.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of that.
Borrowing one of her books now is out of the question, right?
Correct. 6 months wait minimum.
6 months wait. Holy shit, that's a long time to yeah.
What do you know about Deborah's private life?
She had quite an interesting life. Adopted as a child, and her adoptive father, Sebastian Willis Sinclair, was an accomplished author in his own right.
Oh, so both are
Was
writers.
a young homeless woman, and her
Huh.
father was a Native American. Deborah spent much of her life trying to track down her biological father, unsuccessfully. Perhaps in some part, due to her roots, Deborah's books have often contained subject matter inspired by Native American religion. She was
Understandable.
childless and unmarried when she passed away. Rumors say she was gay, but God knows tabloids are quick to jump to conclusions. I don't think she ever clarified that matter to the public.
Why
If
would she
you are
even need
curious
to? It's
learn
none of your
more,
fucking business.
I highly recommend her acclaimed autobiography, Unbound.
Do you have it
I
then?
might check that out. Thanks for the information. What do you know about the murder?
I believe she was
Oh, it's the same thing. Okay.
I'm looking to find some information on the Soothsayer.
Quite a few people have taken an interest in that case lately.
That's so. Well, I'm not scared of a little competition. So, you got anything for me?
Yes. I would direct you to the microfilm viewer at the end of the hall. We have full scans of all of the major newspapers dating all the way back to the 50s.
Perfect. I should be able to browse those for some
The
articles
Soothsayer
about
has been
others.
killing that long, has he?
If I may ask, what
I'm
is
hoping
your
he has
interest
not.
in the case?
That'd be bad.
You probably heard there's a reward, right? I'm a PI, and money is tight, so...
I see. I suppose we each have our own ways to make a living.
Okay, that's it.
Thanks. I'll come back if I have more questions.
Very well. Good luck.
All right, post office boxes.
You can rent one of those if you lack a fixed address. Let's hope things don't come to that.
Let's
A
hope.
bunch of magazines. Mostly celebrity gossip, it looks like.
All right. The bookshelf.
If I need a book, I should use the computer.
Oh, right. I need to search up the book and where it's at. Unbound. Deborah Sinclair, Stephen Collins. Publication date April 10th or October 4th, 1996. I can never really read, okay, American months. I think it could be October 4th because they flipped the dates. No, over here it'll be April 10th for us anyways. Status unavailable. Deborah Sinclair's long-awaited autobiography outlines the author's tumultuous life and rise to worldwide prominence. The book takes the form of a series of interviews with Sinclair's longtime friend and colleague Stephen Collins.
Anything I print should appear here. I think that includes printouts from that microfilm viewer at the end of the hall.
Okay.
Okay, let's see here. It would take ages to look through all the microfilms since the killings began, so maybe I can figure out on what date the murder prior to Deborah's occurred. Hopefully I can deduce the date of the previous murder from the articles I picked up at the office. When I have a good date written down, I can view the corresponding microfilm and look for useful information.
Okay. I'm a kill. Hold on. May 13th. So it'll be before May 13th, right? May 9th. Before May 9th. Before May 9th. Memorial Day. Oh, she just writes it down. Wait.
I've already written down that date.
Easter. How do I guess it? She was stopped there on May 8th, so it's not May 8th. Before May 8th. I was wrong. Wait, it was May 8th. The murder before. It's May 8th.
That's the date I selected in the calendar. I can either search for it in the microfilm shelves or replace it with a different date by looking at the calendar again.
Okay.
No. I don't think this date I've got written down is good. I can't waste time by checking every date. I should look for the date of the previous murder in the sequence before I browse the microfilms.
Okay, maybe I gotta go ask. Wait, Rose Taylor. No.
If I need a book, I should use the computer.
Okay, wait, I can ask the librarian again, can I? Would he know the murder victim before Deborah?
One more thing.
Yes?
I saw that Deborah Sinclair was one of the financial contributors to the library.
Indeed. This place had gone through a rough patch, and I'm told that her gift came just in the nick of time, saving the library from closure.
Okay.
I don't see a reason to show him those. I'm sure he knows more about Deborah Sinclair than me.
Okay, nothing. Can I? No, okay, never mind.
Thanks. I'll come back if I have more questions.
How am I supposed to figure out what the date is? I'm dumb.
I should be able to learn more about the Soothsayer at the library.
My profile kill. She's killed on May 8th. 5 victims in 3 months. So it started. So Deborah was killed in May. So 3 months back. April, March, February. So from February. February is the first victim's death. Rose Taylor. Oops. Clicked out of the game. Sorry. Rose Taylor. Then we got no. So February, Rose Taylor was killed in February. Then March and April. May 8th was the fifth kill. 1, 2, 3. What is this?
We're still in May. It doesn't make sense to browse any later dates.
Oh, okay. So it would be April because it would be before May. What do these symbols mean? Full moon? New moon? Deborah. I don't know where we are supposed to get that.
Some antique world map centered on the US. 1800s, maybe?
Okay, oh wait, Soothsayer. Is there any books on the Soothsayer? Dead ends meet. Storm Chaser. 425 maybe? I remember they mentioned that or something, but I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, this date should be good. I'll search through a week or so of microfilm, starting from the date I've written down. Hopefully I can find some useful information on the previous victim.
Hopefully. Yeah, they're not even going to show us anything. Black screen.
Yes, there we go. I'll have these printed.
Okay, she gets printed. Why do they keep showing black screens? Jeez.
All right, rinse and repeat. I should try to determine the previous microfilm date based on the information in these new pages. That way I can make my way back from article to article, victim to victim, until I get all the way to the first murder. Let's see here.
All right, Jane Doe. Okay, April 29th, 1998. This by the Cassidy Sun. The infamous Soothsayer has cranked up on the heat on his killing spree. As the latest victim, a young woman in her early 20s, was determined to have been brutally burned alive on Constance Hill. The death occurred on the night of April 25. Due to the state of the remains, Jane Doe's identity has been difficult to ascertain. Despite indications of dental work on the corpse, there were no matching dental records anywhere in the city, leading police to believe that the woman was not a local. The lack of a struggle could mean that the victim was incapacitated. I don't know why the word was so hard to read today, but the conditions of the body gives little clarity on the matter. Picking a public site like this was a risky proposition for the Soothsayer, but he may have banked on the fact that distant witnesses would assume that the fire came from the nearby fire pit. Mayor Adams offered this comment. As unpleasant as it is, I must ask you to be patient. Let Cassidy Chief of Police Edgar Mitchell Brown and his team do their job. KPD has my full confidence in this matter, and City Hall stands vigilant to assist in any way we can. For our extensive coverage of the previous victim, Deacon Townsend, see issue 842. Deacon Townsend! Okay. Got a name, at least. Soothsayer strikes again. Task force established. This is Edgar Mitchell Brown on April 26th. The Soothsayer has claimed a fourth victim, an unidentified woman estimated to have been 18 years old. Her charred remains were found on the outskirts of Cassidy, near the overlook of Constance Hill. The cause of death is yet to be determined. The Soothsayer victims do not seem to share any obvious similarities in terms of gender, age, occupation, or social class, and the killing methods, locations, and disposal of the bodies are all different. However, the killings have all occurred within the Great Cassidy area over a period of 3 months, which would indicate that the Soothsayer is somewhat local to the area. In related news, the Cassidy Chief of Police has recently announced that the investigation of these killings will be taken over by the newly created Soothsayer Task Force. Edgar Mitchell Brown said the following during a press conference on April 26. As of May 1st, the so-called Soothsayer slayings will be investigated by a dedicated task force of 8 senior detectives handpicked from various divisions at the Cassidy Police Department. Rest assured that this elite group has every resource at their disposal. When asked whether or not the FBI will be involved, Mitchell Brown replied, "There is no federal jurisdiction in this case. I have no further comment." We'll take it. The Gazette has frequently criticized the Cassidy Police Department for their errors in the past, but credit where credit is due. This is a step in the right direction. Okay. Jane Doe.
I know where Constance Hill is, but that's a fair distance from the city. Better save it for tomorrow. For now, I'll put Jane Doe on hold and see what I can find about the previous murder victim.
Yeah, since Jane Doe, we don't know her name or everything, it's hard for us to track her down. Okay. So, this one was the date when we could have found. So, which one would be in March? The one's in January. March 6th. The guidance. March 6th. Oh, hold on. Can I find a Deacon Townsend somewhere? No. But March 6th.
No. I don't think
Yeah, no.
written down is good.
It's not a patent then. St. Patrick's Day or these are marked, so I'm thinking it could be related. Okay. I think I tried that one already, actually. My bad. It could be still in April. Hold on. Tenth October. Issue 842. Cassidy's son 842. Damn it. Could be a week before. It was 25. Yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to know the dates. Damn. Okay, wait. Does he know anything about Jane Doe? Maybe I could ask the librarian? He could give me some information I could figure out? or rather used to figure out like the victim, like third victim.
One more thing.
Yes?
What do you know about Jane Doe, the fourth Soothsayer victim?
Apart from Deborah Sinclair, I can't offer much insight on the Soothsayer victims.
Of course you cannot use useless.
Thanks. I'll come back if I have more questions.
Very well. Good luck.
A bunch of magazines. Mostly celebrity gossip, it looks like.
Okay. Bit confused.
Microfilms.
Started in February, though. It couldn't happen in February, right? The fourth victim died on the 25th, or within this 7 days. But not... How am I supposed to deduce the date? Is there a puzzle or something to this I'm not noticing? May 1st. Deacon Townsend. Issue 842. What issue is this? 845. So if it's by 1 week, this is 29th, right? 845, 29th. 29th and 845, 844, 843, 842. Wait. Or is it before that? Or maybe it's April. Maybe it's April. Sorry. My bad. This is March. 24. 845, 844, 843, 842.
Yes, this should be the right date. Let's see here.
Found something.
Okay, let's have a look.
Okay. Issue 842. Soothsayer stages suicide of prophetic deacon. We're sad to report that a third member of our community has been taken out by the so-called Soothsayer, who appears to be Cassidy's first serial killer. The victim's name was Benedict Townsend, age 51. Our sources say that his death occurred on April 3rd, and that Townsend was likely murdered in a staged suicide by hanging. Townsend served as a deacon at the King of Kings Catholic Church, an old congregation dating back to the early 1900s. He was a beloved figure in the community, well known for his voluntary work. Reverend Hugh Winters, the pastor of Kings, had the following to say: "My heart aches for Ben's soul and everything he had left to give to the world. But I take some comfort in the fact that he's with the Lord now. And for the person or persons who did this to my friend, know that there will be a reckoning. Murder is a sin most vile." Murder, I don't know why I can't really talk today. "And God sees all. The King of Kings remained open as the crime occurred in the adjacent rectory building. However, the rectory will remain under lock and key until properly consecrated. Soothsayer linked to 3 murders, serial killer on the loose. 3 killings in 2 months connected by foreboding signature. Deacon Benedict Townsend, age 51, was found dead early on April 4th in a rectory of the King of Kings Catholic Church. The cause of death was determined to be hanging, but suicide has been ruled out by the KPD. An anonymous police source had the following to say: somebody else was involved. Positioning of the body and other logistics don't add up if he was alone. This scenario is eerily similar to that of Eric Holloway, the postman who met his demise on the ominous full moon night last month. His death was initially treated as a suicide, but later revised to homicide. Now the Gazette brings you the exclusive scoop. Both of these killings, as well as the brutal stabbing of Nurse Rose Taylor back in February, are linked by an object left at the scene. A shattered obsidian mirror, colloquially referred to as the scrying mirror. These mirrors have been used since ancient times to see the future or communicate with the spirit world. Does the soothsayer responsible for these murders have a religious motive? Our source continues, it's a signature. This killer is no hack. He hasn't left any other forensic evidence that can be traced back to him. So the mirror has to be deliberate. Townsend was a well-liked figure in the community, known for his charity work, and a longtime member of the church. Cassidy Chief of Police Edgar Mitchell Brown gave the following comment: "We are not classifying these homicides as serious offenses at this time, but trust that we have our finest on the case. We urge our viewers to demand that Mitchell Brown recognizes that the citizens of Cassidy have been cursed with our first serial killing in recorded history." Full Moon Night March.
Okay, I'll make sure to look into that church later and maybe find the address. For now, let's move on to victim number 2.
March. Full moon.
I'm on the right track with this date, but I think I've got the full moon and the new moon confused.
Good hint. Thank you for telling me. I thought that was a full moon. I'm wrong. It was this one. My bad. My bad.
Yes, this should be the right date. Let's see here.
Prominent suicide morphs into homicide. Cassidy Gazette, Wednesday, March 18, 1998. I almost said 1988. Initially reported as a suicide, the death of Eric Holloway on March 12 has been officially reclassified by KPD as a homicide. Since the public death occurred, multiple reliable witnesses had come forward claiming that the victim was pushed off the roof of the building at 4 Verdant Street. However, there are no detailed descriptions of the perpetrator, likely due to the limited illumination of the roof area at night. Holloway led a quiet and simple life, working as a mailman for the city, and is said to have been well liked by his peers. However, there are unverified reports of mental health problems related to the death of his fiancée last year. Police sources told us that there are links to the brutal motel stabbing of Rose Taylor on Statehood Day, but we're reluctant to share further details of an ongoing investigation. Okay, Grim full fall under the moon. On Thursday, March 12th at roughly 8 p.m., a 32-year-old man leaped from the roof of a 4-story apartment building at Verdant Street, instantly killing himself on the pavement below, making a grisly spectacle for neighbors and bystanders alike. Friends and neighbors claimed that the victim had struggled with the death of his girlfriend, but no suicide note has been recovered. Events like this reiterate that mental health and grief counseling should be a national concern, with more resources available for vulnerable people in crisis. If you or anyone you know is having suicidal thoughts, you can reach the National Suicide Hotline at 555-922-922, available 24/7. Statehood Day.
Eric's address isn't too far away, but I should learn all I can here before I visit any of the crime scenes. Coming up.
Good idea. Okay, sorry. I did not mean to cut her off. But yeah, I cut her off. Statehood Day.
Yes, this should be the right date. Let's see here.
Satan is responsible for motel slaughter? A brutal stabbing occurred at the Azure Sky Motel on February 5th, and our sources now say that there's an occult angle to the killing, with some sort of artifact left on the scene. The husband of the victim was briefly detained but released a day later. Law enforcement claims that he remained a person of interest, however, and confirmed that the cause of death was multiple stab wounds to the chest. Motel murder multiplies management. On February 7th, Rose Amanda Taylor, age 47, was found dead by Robert Tippett, the owner of the Azure Sky Motel. Taylor had been stabbed to death by an unknown perpetrator. Blood everywhere. A goddamn butcher room. Tippett says wide-eyed, continues to emphasize that this city is going to hell. You go ahead and print that. Neighbors report hearing commotion from the room, but there was apparently a regular occurrence, so no one went to investigate. Taylor is survived by her husband and two children who have declined a request to be interviewed. The husband was briefly detained, but is no longer considered a suspect. If you have any information about the murder of Rose Taylor, please contact Cassidy Police Department. Okay.
All right, that should be everything on the microfilms. I think I'll continue to focus on gathering information today and then head to each of the murder sites tomorrow.
That's a good plan. Anytime what to do next, try opening your notebook and query your active task. Pull up on clues. Let me talk to this guy first. See if I can get more information from him.
One more thing.
Yes?
What do you know about scrying mirrors?
Not much, unfortunately. They're not within my area of expertise.
Do you know anything about the King of Kings Catholic Church?
I'm not familiar with that church, sorry.
You really don't know anything.
Are you familiar with the Azure Sky Motel?
I'm afraid not.
You are freaking useless.
Thanks. I'll come back if I have more questions.
Very well. Good luck.
Okay, follow up on clues.
I think I'll look into that church next, the King of Kings. There was no mention of an address for it in the newspapers.
King of Kings. I could go back and look at the phone book. But maybe I could look it up here just in case. Okay, nothing. Back to our office and living area. We're on our motorcycle again. All these new locations we can go to tomorrow, but first let's go back. Look in the photo book. I mean, phone book. What photo book?
Great. I've got the address to the church. I'll head over there tomorrow. I think it's time to see what I can find about the Azure Sky Motel. It's likely in this phone book here.
Thank you for telling me. I like the help. I appreciate
I'll call first and see if a visit makes sense. God knows I have to be careful with those last drops of gas left in the bike.
555.
Thank you for calling the Azure Sky Motel, your oasis in Cassidy. How may I help you?
Hi there. This is Kathy Rain from Rain Investigations. I have some questions.
All right, then.
What do you know about the Soothsayer?
I know more than I'd like to. I could have gone without a close view of his handiwork, that's for sure.
I can imagine. A brutal stabbing, I take it?
No offense, but I'd rather not go over that again. It's all in the papers, if you're so dead set on getting all the gory details.
What can you tell me about your motel?
The Azure Sky is a long-time family business. We've been serving tenants faithfully for over 40 years now.
Feel bad for
Oh,
them,
wow,
honestly.
Quite a while. So, how many tenants do you have?
We don't keep records of the number of tenants, but we have 50 rooms of varied sizes. We're about 3/4 full, but expecting to be fully booked during tourist season in the summer.
Wait, tourists actually come to Cassidy? Somebody deserves a raise for one hell of a marketing campaign.
No patriot of the community, huh? That's a shame. This city has a lot more to offer than people like you give it credit for.
Well, I could comment on
their
that
own, I
if I
guess.
see more of the city. I haven't seen it yet, so.
So, I hear that one of your tenants was murdered back in February? Rose Taylor.
No shit. Here I thought the boys in blue ransacked this whole place just for shits and giggles.
That happens more often than you'd think. Come on, man. Help a girl out.
Sorry for the attitude, but you know you're the umpteenth person to ask about that, right?
Yes,
I get that,
probably.
How about we stick with the short version?
Fine. No, I don't know anything that isn't in the papers. No, you can't see the room. It's rented out. And even if you did go in there, there's nothing that the cops or...
Hello, Herma. Is this a new model? Yes.
February.
Technically, it's like
So,
customizable model, so it's not like
she had a husband,
completely
right?
custom made. It's kind of like
Okay,
pre-made,
buddy,
but
pick up the personal effect.
it's perfect, don't you
The
think?
guy for a few minutes.
Did you catch his name?
I did.
Like, as you know, I can't dye my hair in real life. If you don't know that, I can't dye my hair in real life because of
No
work.
offense.
So
Actually,
I live vicariously through my model.
Licensed private investigator.
I'm also into
Ever
like
hear of
gothic
the
fashion,
Whitmore affair?
but I don't have the guts to wear it myself in real life.
Failure.
Well, that
Ever.
Now,
You know,
here's a
so
friendly piece of
living
advice.
vicariously through my
Choose
model.
one of
It's
these
just me.
assistants.
How I picture
It
myself
can
to
be a
be.
much bigger pain in the ass than this Mr. Taylor, believe me.
Works for the CIA.
Fine. It's Orson.
You mean me or Kathy?
That wasn't so hard, was it? Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
So hello, Trinidad. Sorry, I almost mistook you for Herma. Both your names are in orange. Olson Taylor.
What can you tell me about Orson Taylor, Rose's
Oh,
husband?
Orson Taylor. My bad.
Like
Sorry.
I said, I only saw the guy once, a week or so after the murder.
Okay. How do you seem?
Like you'd expect. Messed up. Couple of kids, too. Breaks my heart, truth be told.
So, if Rose was married and had 2 children, what was she doing in your motel?
Now that's the million-dollar question, ain't it? You'll get no answer from me. Even if I could keep track of all of our tenants, I don't make a habit
You know what?
my nose in their personal affairs.
He has a point.
Huh.
Why
Is she a
is
regular then?
the girl at the hotel?
January.
I mean, motel.
Look,
She was married.
said enough.
She's still in town. Why did she go to a motel?
I've got calls on the other line.
Do you know anything about scrying mirrors?
Only that our psycho killer enjoys breaking them around his victims, but I have no interest in understanding a nut like that.
Okay. Thank you.
That's all, thanks.
You're welcome. Have a great day now.
Thank you for that. You have a great day too, I guess. Lots of stuff, not important. So, what do? Do I go back to sleep?
I wish, but if I don't shape up and get some work done, I'm gonna end up sleeping somewhere way less comfy.
In graphic school, like high resolution pixel. Yeah. Yeah, it's pixel art, but it's not like when we imagine pixel art, it's like really pixelated and like it's low resolution, right? No, this is high resolution pixel art. I will say though, one thing that kind of bothers me, but it's the only way I could say it's kind of like an OCD thing a little bit. But not really. I'm not really diagnosed, so but she, as in Kathy, she looks way more pixelated than the rest of the game. As in, if you look at the rest of the surroundings, she looks more pixelated than the background. Like, you look at the background, like, it's all smooth, right? Smooth, everything. I mean, it's pixelated. Like, it's, or other pixel, but it's smooth, you know, and all that. The art, I love it. And then there's Kathy. It's like, for some weird reason, they upgraded everything of the game as compared to the first game, but Kathy. Like, she couldn't be bothered to draw a new model for Kathy, so they used the same one as the first game, but then it makes it so that it doesn't fit in with the rest of the game anymore. You know, like, the rest of the game, it looks like it's modernized, right? It's for like Windows 11, you know, modern day game. It's what you expect. And then there's her. It looks like she's from like the back in the day kind of vibe, which bothers me more than I like. As I said, the closest or only comparison I could get you to understand why it bothers me is like an OCD thing. I can't stand looking at her, you know? You're proposing to use smaller pixels for Kathy. Yeah, I mean, if you look at her photo when she was talking, they upgraded her photo. You know, when she was chatting, there's a picture, right? They upgraded everything else except the model. And this is the model we see a lot when we were playing, because unless she's in a conversation to someone, like we just see her, and it's kind of annoying. And okay, maybe it's me because I have a 2K monitor. Like, my main monitor is 2K. So, and my monitor is 27 inch. Okay, it's a huge ass monitor, you know, 2K 27 inch. So you can imagine how big the game is on my screen, right? So her pixels look even bigger to me. I imagine if you're playing on 1080p or something, it's not as obvious. But when you're using a 2K monitor, it's kind of obvious. I mean, it feels like it doesn't fit in with the rest of the game. And that bothers me. Hope for animation purpose, I don't have to create a new whole new thing. But see, this is the sequel game though. Like, you upgraded everything else. Like, I mean, you compare it to the first game, at least from what I've seen, it does look upgraded. It has similar vibes, but it's upgraded. But then she doesn't fit in anymore. Like, you look at this. Okay, I'll move a little bit. You see, everything is so smooth, and then there's her. She looks so freaking out of place. You know what she reminds me of? It's like she came out from back in the day. Like, she's a video game character from the 90s. But she came to, like, she transported in time to a modern game. So it just doesn't fit in. It's the vibe that I'm getting. Not that I don't enjoy the game, by the way. If any developers are watching. Any fans of catering, don't come for me, okay? I do enjoy playing the game. Even though I have not made much progress, but still, it's just a small thing that bothers me. That I get not wanting to make a new model when you already have one that can use, but still, it's just a small tiny thing that bothers me. Okay, I'm sorry. What am I supposed to do? Give me a sec. Let me check my notebook.
I should try to get in touch with Orson Taylor next. Hopefully he's willing to talk to me.
Like, see? It looks so high quality there. And then there's her over here.
All right, found the husband's number. Here's hoping he's willing to talk to me.
Right. You guys remember this? The yellow badge, the phone book? Like back in the day where we all used it? Oh man. Those sort of days. I'm so old. I remember this book. I'm so old now, seriously.
You reached the Taylors. No one's home right now, but if you leave your details after the beep, I'll get back to you.
Hi, Mr. Taylor. This is Kathy Rain, private investigator. I was wondering if I could ask you some questions. You can reach me at 555-142-062. Thanks in advance. Bye. I think I followed up on what I can today for each of the different victims. Just one thing left to do. I noticed that the Gazette had the best coverage of the Soothsayer out of all the city papers.
And why?
To pay a dear old friend a visit.
Oh, so are we going to meet our best friend, or college roommate? That is probably cookable. If you have the yellow page, don't eat it. It's not yet edible, okay? And yeah, it's a very thick book. Like, imagine, like, back in the day when you all have it at home. If anyone breaks in or anything, if they don't have a gun or whatever, you grab that book and you can knock them out with that book. That's how thick and heavy it is. I don't think I ever had my number in the book, though. Not that I checked, by the way. No. Teleportation. I can go visit a friend. The Gazette.
All right, here we are. Let's see how E is doing.
In our country, we have stopped printing phone books due to a law. I probably, every country has stopped.
Hey, Art, what's a synonym for disappointing?
Your outfit?
Now that's just mean.
Sorry, Summers, couldn't resist.
Sorry, I was broken up by their conversation.
Dismaying, dissatisfactory.
I think I'm looking for a stronger statement.
Then I'd go with depressing, distressing, or maybe...
But yeah, I think it's like an invasion of privacy, right? To just have,
Perfect.
your number printed in a phone book somewhere.
Kiddo.
Okay, little conversations like that. No, I need to go make some supper.
Space is acting up again.
I can't go anywhere. It keep talking.
The layout.
Control-Shift-L, I think.
Your number, name, and even address.
Try hitting escape.
Oh.
Easy for scam call. Easy for scam call and easy for a stalker or whoever to track you. Can you imagine back in the day when the yellow page exists?
Finally.
And you happen to be important enough to have your number printed in the book for some reason.
I bitched to McAvoy about that moldy cave for a decade.
Can you imagine just having someone be able to find you like that? Imagine if you are someone who
complain
is being stalked, or you have an enemy.
They
can find you so easily with your address and just kill you.
From lung cancer.
How many murders happened, do you think, back in the day where the killer found the address of their victims by the phone book?
That little beeping pal of yours.
I'm just saying.
Oh, you mean Agatha, my virtual pet?
Yes, that silly electronic Japanese thing.
She kinda died. I forgot her at home when I went to church.
My deepest condolences.
Like a standard doxing procedure, yeah.
Very funny. It was a research project. You know I have to stay up to date on pop culture.
Sure. Keep telling yourself that, Summers.
I feel like stalking like that's more common. It's more easy, I guess, with internet and everything.
Hello, sunshine. How's my favorite Christian reporter?
Oh, what do you want, Kathy? I'm on a deadline here.
No small talk, huh?
They really are not on good terms.
I wish, but we both know you only show up when you need something.
Ouch. Well, I did have something I wanted to talk to you about.
Let's hear it then.
She really doesn't like us.
What do you know about the Soothsayer?
The serial killer? But... Oh no, it's that stupid reward, isn't it?
You betcha. Money in the bank, baby.
Oh, brother. I'd say this is a terrible idea, Kathy, but it's not like you listen to me anyway.
Oh, come on, Eileen. Don't be like that.
No, don't even go there. Do you know how many times I had to go to HR to get people to stop quoting that stupid song?
Wait, that's a song?
Poor old Johnny Ray sounded sad upon the radio.
Art, make her stop.
Why? It's not a half bad.
If it was me, I would slapped Kathy across the
You guys are
face.
like peas in a pod.
I'm sorry. Kathy can be such a
Now I
bitch.
lost my groove. I hope you're happy.
I'm just saying.
Static. Are you done wasting my time now?
She's nice enough, but still she can be quite mean sometimes.
See? Aren't you thrilled about another big case? Teaming up, just like old times?
You can't just pretend nothing happened, Kathy. You fired me.
Ouch!
remember?
You fired?
I'll unfire you?
Yeah, right. How do you even know you'll get that reward? This is Cassidy we're talking about.
I was thinking the same thing, but Lucas did his homework. He says this new mayor is the real deal.
Unfired. I know, right?
Silly old man.
Damn.
He just wants one last case with his pro.
I can say Eileen is much nicer than I am. If my friend
And I'm all here.
I worked with fired me and then comes
Self-preservation.
looking for me only when she needs my help, fuck you.
Can't argue with that.
You can die somewhere else. I'm not gonna help you.
Needs. What do you know about Cassidy's most prolific murderer?
Not much. You should ask Art. He's much more up to date on that stuff, being our crime correspondent and all.
What do you know about Deborah Sinclair?
I like her books, but I don't care much for celebrity gossip. Awful thing that happened to her, though.
What do you know about the woman who was burned alive by the Soothsayer?
Oh, nothing. I hope that horrible demon is caught soon.
What do you know about Benedict Townsend?
That's a lot to talk about with her.
I don't know anything about that poor man.
Hey, you're a Christian. What does a deacon actually do?
It depends on the denomination, but a deacon belongs to a church and can practically do the same work as a priest, with the exception of sermons and rites.
Interesting, thanks. Are you familiar with scrying mirrors?
I think so, yeah. You mean the black ones made out of
I
obsidian?
only know about the scrying mirror thing because
What do
of
you know about them?
what was that game again?
I know they
The
were-
one where Jimmy chases you?
They're quite popular in New Age culture today.
What was it called?
My friend
A
Meadow
Dead of
is
Night?
Totally into that stuff. I bet she'd tuck your ear off about it.
Oh? Sounds great. Where can I find her?
Let me.
No, not The Shining.
She can be a bit.
It's
peculiar.
not The Shining. I meant the video game, Trinidad. It's the, the serial killer with kind of split personality. No, or rather, depending on. Okay, technically it's not split personality because the game actually specifies he does not have DID. It's his father possessing him. So he has this evil persona that kind of wants to kill you. Yeah, that one, the FMV one. And the other game that the same company made as well, that game that I do remember the title of, Contradiction. A scrying mirror appeared in that one too, right? It's like the black mirror and people think you could see ghosts in it. That's how I knew about scrying mirrors. I did not know that was a thing. Because what I know of scrying was from the show Charmed. They use a crystal on a map. They don't use a mirror. Just saying.
Are you familiar with the King of Kings Catholic Church?
I'm not. My family, we're Protestants.
Wait, hold on. You just said that you're Christian. Or she said you're Christian. But then your family are Protestants? Just a quick reminder for everyone who doesn't know that Protestants and Christians are two different things, okay? They're not the same. Protestant, technically, but you want to get really technical about it, they're not really Christians in a sense. At the very least, you will not see a Protestant calling themselves a Christian, just like you won't have a Christian calling themselves a Protestant because of history, right? England history, they broke off. It's, you you won't have either person calling each other, hey, I'm Christian or Protestant, when they're not. So it's kind of separate, I guess. It's not like Catholics and Christians where we can use it interchangeably. You know, like I might specify sometimes where I'm Roman Catholic, but when I know most people don't care about it, I just like, yeah, I'm Christian. I mean, pretty much the same. The only difference is Catholics, we pray to Mother Mary. The Christians pray directly to like Holy Father or Jesus and whatnot. I would say though, personally, I still refer to myself as a Roman Catholic, but not like a really traditional Roman Catholic. So I don't even know what to call myself. You know? I don't really care. Well, I don't know how it works there in the US. Yeah, I don't really know how it works in the US either. There's not many Protestants where we're from too. Not that they don't exist. They exist, just not as many, I guess.
Do you know anything about Eric?
So I'm not too sure about them either, actually. I know about Christians and Catholics more, because my grandmother, from my mother's side, was Christian. No, well, my family was Roman Catholic, so I know about Christians more. But don't ask me anything about Protestants, I really don't know.
What do you know about Rose Taylor, the first Soothsayer victim?
She worked as a nurse, I think. Other than that, I don't know much.
I think when people refer to Christians, they refer to Orthodox Christians? I don't know about that actually, because in Singapore, Christians are just that, Christians. They don't have like Orthodox Christians or any other like term. It's just Christians, and then Roman Catholics. There's the evangelicals. There are like a Protestants, but yeah, that's how we specify. So it's its own thing, I guess. Christians, yeah, it can be an umbrella term, but I think over here it's like they specify it.
Have you heard of the
when they ask you? Like,
that's where one of those
at
serious...
least the people that I meet would.
Yeah.
Thought it sounded familiar. I don't know anything else about it though.
Catholics and Orthodox subcategory. There's a lot of Christians in the world. A lot of different varieties, I guess. Versions.
I'll let you get back to your work.
All right, see you later.
Okay, Arth.
Art Hopkins. Just the man I need to see.
That's so. This better be good.
Okay, before I start a conversation with him, I gotta go get some food. Because it's 9:44 p.m. and while I can still stream for about an hour, I want to eat my cake and get some milk tea or something, you know? I just want to have a little snack while I play a game. And historically, I understand how people mean different things in what they say. Yeah, but yeah, you know what? I'm not going to go into that yet. Let me just go grab my food. And for those of you watching on YouTube, I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care.